Hi there folks, Borislav247 here with another Days Gone video. And on this video folks, I am going to show you all a truly unique and very easy method in which to take out the Sawmill Horde. In fact, I'll go as far as to say I think this is the easiest method you will ever use in order to take out this horde. Now, the difficulty level that I'm setting this on for showing this demonstration is Survivor 2, so this is as tough as it gets. But trust me folks, when you see how this is done, this is by far as easy as it gets. So let's get to the action. Right and folks, this is going to be the first of two runs because basically there is a slight variation to the second run, and it also changes one or two things in how you would go about taking out the horde, but the general way of doing it is still the same. That sounds a bit vague, but you'll see what I mean after you've seen both of the runs. So to start off, I'm just going to roll in nice and casually. I'm just looking at this point, I'm not getting off the bike because the bike is integral to this method. Just looking to take out a few. I just want the numbers coming out of there. Once I see quite a number of them coming out, I know I've got them. So I'm just looking to head up here. I'm just going to take the time to reverse up just to show you folks that you do actually have a good bit of time to get this done. And hey, voila. And as you'll probably all be aware of, once I'm up here, you are untouchable. And from here you can basically take out the horde in any way you like. This is how I like to do it. I always like to get to this position here on the rock face because it gives you a fantastic angle for picking off the freakers as they're running up the hill. And as you can see folks, they are all congregated around there basically because when you use the bike to get up to this position, that is the last position that the freakers see you at. At this point, they actually don't know where you are, they cannot see you. They are simply there because that is your last position. I will show later on that you can get them, you can manipulate them so that they will come over to your position. It is very possible to do, but for this method I want to keep it nice and simple and clean. Because the second method I will actually show the horde coming over to me. I will make sure that they can see me, but there's a very specific way you've got to do that. Right, anyways folks, concentrating on the last of these freakers here. There aren't many of them left, so I'm just going to pick them off with gunplay here. Worth noting, if you do have survival vision, makes this job a whole lot easier, but in general, as I've mentioned in a few videos where I take out hordes, when you start to hear very little from them in the way of sound, you know you've pretty much got them all. So I know I've virtually got them all taken care of at the moment, but that is of the ones that are in this area. I am going to have to go down to get the rest of the horde, and I'm fairly confident that I've got them all now. So it's back on the bike. Getting off is no big deal here, honestly folks. It's nice and easy. And something else worth noting, because this is something that I'm pretty sure I will get asked about if I don't mention it. The bike I am using at the moment has the best engine in it. However, I can confirm folks, I have done this run using the absolute worst engine, and you can still get to the position on the rocks very easily using the absolute worst engine that has the lowest speed. So if you choose, you can take on this horde as soon as you reach Lost Lake. You really can. It's a very nice, easy 500 freaker years, let's be honest folks. Again, I like to head to this part of the rock area just to try and get some of the freakers as they're coming up the hill. You don't have to do it this way folks, you can quite literally just wait for them all to gather below you. You really, the options are endless here. You can just go to town in any way you feel. But at this point, they're all very nicely gathered here, so it's time for some more Molotovs. Or napalm Molotovs, I should say, folks. I normally like to try and hit them with a couple of these bad boys, and then once I really start getting the numbers down, then start to think about maybe some normal Molotovs, and obviously a bit of gunplay as well. Right folks, I've just about got this horde taken care of, so it's just gunplay to take out the last few. If you're struggling to hit any of the freakers, don't be afraid just to move along the rock face here. That is the beauty of this spot as well. You can move all over the place here and just basically pick them off from virtually every angle. And there we go folks. That is it, job done. That horde, you're lucky if it took 5 minutes to take out there. Nice and easy, nice and clean, nice and quick. Right folks, run number 2. And this run is significantly different for one big reason. In the previous run, I managed to take out the entire horde pretty much hassle-free, but it did involve 2 trips in order to get the entire horde. This method will do it with just the 1. So, here we go. The setup is exactly the same. I'm just heading down there, I'm staying on the bike, just basically going to use the R1 and L1 buttons in terms of aiming and firing, and then basically from here folks, once I have the numbers heading out, it's the exact same scenario. Just heading up here, can even take my time, just line up the bike, and fantastic. Now that I'm up here, I'm going to start off this run the exact same as what I did for run number 1. So I want the MG55. This is a fantastic spot. Really does give you the perfect angle to take them off as they're running up the hill. And I'm just going to keep this going folks until I've got pretty much most of this group. And I will stress this group because this is not the entirety of the Sawmill Horde. So a bit more gunplay, but I am going to show 1 or 2 things that are quite different, because I'm going to take the time to use a few grenades on them here. I am however moving slightly further up, and make sure that you're crouched for this folks. If you're not, you do have a risk that you could be blown off the rock face here. I'm just simply making sure that's not going to happen. 1 more for good luck. Okay, this is where it all changes, because I want to attract them to a particular position. In fact, I'll make it a bit clearer. I want them to see me, and then in order to do this, you have to go to this spot and then just start moving down slowly. You'll know when you're in the right position because they will come running. I'm not there yet. So again, just slowly, slowly. There we go. Now I've got them. And from this spot, folks, I'm just going to go to town on them with some gunplay here. Basically, I am actually waiting now for the rest of the horde. And now that I am in a spot where they can't see me, trust me when I say, folks, it won't be long until they do show. We'll start with a trickle, but you will start to get them all coming up. Here we go, 1 or 2, yeah. Now they're coming, and in large numbers. Once there is a substantial group of them, rest assured they're going to get hit hard with some resources. Basically, the napalm molotovs, which is very handy for reducing their numbers quickly. From this position here, folks, I do not recommend grenades or pipe bombs, because there is a risk that you could be blown off the rock face here, especially as you are much lower down than what you are from the first position when I was using the 4 grenades earlier. And this time I will take the time to use some molotovs as well as the napalms. There's another napalm for good measure, but I do know now that their numbers are significantly reduced, so yeah, I don't want to waste the napalms. They are fantastic when there is a lot of freakers and they are heavily congregated, but that is no longer the case. So, and as I mentioned before, I do not have the use of survival vision because this is on Survivor 2 difficulty. So if you're playing it on any difficulty of, say, Hard 2 or less, you really will, you probably don't even need to bother with Molotovs. You could just select the survival vision, find out exactly where they are, and just pick them off nicely. But there we go, folks. That is run number 2, even quicker than the first. And there you have it, folks. That is my method for taking out the Sawmill Horde in what I consider possibly the easiest way ever. Not to mention that it's a whole lot of fun to do as well. And just for the sake of, before I get onto the bike and get down there, I am going to take care of that Reacher. Because that is it, folks. Job done. You can take the time if you want to climb onto the top parts of the rocks there and just take in the fantastic scenery. But that's me done, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. Take care.